Hi, this is we're gonna be talking about demeanor, and it's gonna be a very tough subject, I'd say, in terms of difficulty in actually understanding what that really is and what to look for. I think the best thing that we can do, because I've never been there to actually seen one. Actually, I might have seen one, but it never turned out to be an active shooter, so we don't know. There was one time when we had this one individual come in, and he would be talking to himself, and he's just sitting there just mumbling in front of people by himself. He didn't greet anyone, talk to anyone, and he's just doing this and just blurbing some stuff to himself. And we're looking for more. I was like, hey, he's kind of weird, right? And he's just, and his face was like, yeah, he's like, mad. He's kind of like angry and like I'm trying to make it. I don't know, but he was in a mad, angry attitude. And then so the guy talked to him. He's like, "Hey, how's it going?" He's like, and he was standoffish, didn't want to talk. He was just like, he was like, "Hey, you gotta leave." And he's like, "F this," and he got up and took off right before service even started and everything like that. And it was a good thing that we did that, because we don't know. We have to be the person to investigate. He's coming into a household, God's church, with our brothers and sisters, and it was our own home. And we have someone just walk into our house. We need to also talk to the guy, at least greet them, meet them before he even talks to our kids, or even let alone be alone with our kids and in the room, closed doors, right? These are our brothers and sisters that we are watching out for. We need to investigate. We need to say, hey, how's it going? How are you? And just talk to the guy. And if he gets up and leave, then let him go. We don't want to welcome any of that stuff. I know we want to help him. I don't know how to help him. So I'm not gonna be the trainer on how to help someone who is just troubled. Maybe that's a pastor thing or whatever, but it's outside the scope, right? We just want to get him out to protect them before doing anything if he was carrying a weapon or whatever. Okay. And then if he decides to, maybe come back in a disarmed kind of way and agree to counseling, hey, he asked for counseling, then yeah, it's the way in to help him. Okay. So what happened was he got up and he started walking around the inside the church towards the back, away from the entry, right? He walked all around, and we followed him. We tailed him all. Well, at least it wasn't me. The other guy did, and he walked them, and he told me about it. And he walked out on the other side of the entry, and then finally we followed him down to the corner, and he took off. He did come back again, a second time. Same demeanor. We as soon as we saw him come in, we approached him. Hey, what's going on? How are you? What's your name? He's just like really standoffish, and he just wouldn't. He just wouldn't talk. He wasn't friendly at all. And so we did the same. Someone told him, you have to leave, and you're not welcome here. You're trespassing. If he was just like, hi, my name is Joe Schmo, and I was just checking out the church, just being a person. Hey, dude, come on in. But we're gonna, it kind of breaks down our little barrier a little bit to kind of welcome him in, because he's friendly and he sounds like he's okay. And then most likely we'll keep a close eye on him. Maybe I'll have someone sit close next to him, be his friend, get to know him a little better, and see how we can help him. We want to know more about Christ and more about the church or whatever. But just be closer to him, close that distance in that sense. It turns out that I think he did come maybe a third time, and I don't think he actually made it in the sanctuary the third time. He came in, we all looked at him, and he just kind of walked around and then left. Okay, so he kind of knew that, hey, we have some guys who knows about him, and we all knew about him. And so it's gonna be one of those deals where they're gonna come, and the active shooters that we have seen on video, and I'm gonna talk about them too. They have visited, they have attended Bible studies, and they have thought about changing their mind and their plan, but didn't, and continued with their plan of attack. And I'll play some videos that I found. And then the best way we can do is just study these videos that happen and just search and then kind of bring it to you. We have to actually take an active approach to kind of seek out these people who have done it and kind of see what can we learn from them and how can we study and what to look for, kind of thing. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and kind of play some videos. And actually, let me go ahead and talk about some demeanors real quick, and then I think I've kind of mentioned some of it. But let's just say, looking around there, that's usually the common pre-attack cues. We kind of look around, making sure, there's, I don't know, it's just like, I'm ready to go, let's make sure we're good, so I don't get, like, jumped on when I, pull the weapon out, kind of thing. And something maybe hiding their hands. Usually they kind of look more like a loner. They're against the government. They're probably talking about, something about against the government. Their life is meaningless. Scars on their arms, or maybe they start cutting themselves. You start seeing just something weird, like, they're something on their arms. Just, hey, what happened to your arm? Like, oh yeah, fell, whatever. And what happened to the other arm? Oh yeah, I got cut too. And 2 weeks later, it's still the same thing. They're having new cuts. So we need to kind of alert ourselves to that. Looking troubled, pacing around. They're just angry, and maybe person creeps around the church building where they're supposed to be. So if we're in the sanctuary, they're still in the nursery or something, or they're upstairs, or in a place where the group isn't, all the whole group has a scheduled time to be here, but they're hanging out somewhere else. That's something to be a concern. And maybe cars entering places where they shouldn't be. So that's not really a personal demeanor, but just kind of like something that's odd. It was like, hey, what's this car doing here? Why is it pulling up close to the entry or the back entry, and what's coming out of it, kind of thing. Alright, so let's go ahead and kind of go over some videos that I found, because I haven't personally seen this, but I did listen to a few TED Talks. This was the Columbine shooter, so I'm going to play her video here, and it's going to be a small clip, okay, about her son and what she found in hers, and why he did what he did, okay.
He said that he was in agony and wanted to get a gun so he could end his life. My family never know if someone there has experienced first with all of my heart. The second challenge I have is that I must ask for understanding and even compassion when I talk about my son's death as a suicide. 2 years before he died, he wrote on a piece of paper in a notebook that he was cutting himself. He said that he was in agony and wanted to get a gun so he could end his life. I didn't know about any of this until months after his death. When I talk about his death as a suicide, I'm not trying to downplay the viciousness he showed at the end of his life. I'm trying to understand how his suicidal thinking led to murder. After a lot of reading and talking with experts, I've come to believe that his involvement in the shootings was rooted not in his desire to kill, but in his desire to die. The third challenge.
All right. So the takeaway on this one was that we found himself cutting himself in this notebook, and his reason for the shooting was because he wanted to die. It wasn't like a hate crime. It wasn't because it's just like he felt his life. He was depressed probably and suicidal. Okay. All right. Now let's go ahead and check out this another video here.
I have when I.
All right. So this one, he actually attended some Bible studies. Let me see what this. Let's go ahead and talk about this guy.
Roof revealed that he had been planning the attack for some time, and that he chose the church because it was an historic African-American church. Sources say he also revealed that while he was sitting in the Bible study, he considered abandoning his plan, but then changed his mind because the source says he thought if he didn't do it, no one else would.
All right, so he visited the church a few times, attended the Bible study, and he looked kind of normal. There's also another video where he was just shooting target practicing. He looked like I don't know, just he was shooting in his backyard. I don't know if that was appropriate, but I guess it was more rural, and his the way he dressed looked kind of, I don't know, kind of like a partier kind of guy, a little bit of a gothish. But let's go ahead and look at that.
If convicted.
So here's another video. Let's see here. So this is the one.
Thinking about it.
Can't say.
Well, would it go back as far as the Trayvon Martin? Because you said that's.
No, we want to go back.
Wouldn't go back that far. That's what got you interested in
That's just thinking
statistics.
about it, you see
Okay.
what I'm saying? I wasn't thinking about it doing anything.
When did you start actually thinking about maybe I should send a message myself? When did that start?
I don't want to answer. What, you know, it wasn't that long ago.
Was there anything that happened that long ago? Was like
No,
a movie
no.
or something you read, or that said, hey, you know what?
No, it was just an
Alright, so basically, this guy was a shooter in a black church, and he wanted to send a message.
Was anything else going on beyond the Trayvon? I mean, there's been
And this was his FBI interview of that. This is the Parkland shooting. Now this guy was this is a. Oh no, this is the Parkland shooting. This is the what is the shooting?
Well, today in South Carolina.
South Carolina. Okay. Anyways, this is Dylan Roof's shielding his confession in a new video. Okay. So, anyways, I mean, he looks like a normal kid. You know, he just saw a statistic that there's just more blacks in the area, and he needed to send a message. So, he kind of just attended the church a few bit, and then he said, well, I got to continue, otherwise, he has to do it, kind of thing. So his was more racial, kind of, which is why he's still here. He wasn't suicidal. He didn't do it until he got shot, kind of thing. He's did it, ran away if he could, and if not, then he got arrested, and that was it. Okay. So his wasn't suicidal. He didn't have cuts. So his might be a harder case to kind of pick out. He usually looked just like a normal person. So, but it is odd that if you have a white person in a black church and they'll welcome them and stuff like that, maybe that's the only cue, that you need to be careful about, and just kind of be, close that distance and just wait for that pounce kind of thing. But he did come at, after hour. No one was at the door, and no one locked it, kind of thing. So, that's why it's another hard topic. All right, so let's go look at another one here. Someone did a self video on before the attack happened, and maybe we'll kind of learn from the way he presented, how he talked about it, as his demeanor. Okay. All right. And that's this guy here.
Every day I see the world ending another day. I live a lone life, live in seclusion and solitude. I hate everyone and everything. With the power of my AR, you will all know who I am. I had enough of being told what to do and when to do. I had enough of telling me that I'm an idiot and a dumbass. But in real life, you're all the dumbass. You're all stupid and brainwashed by these political government programs. You will all see, you will all know who my name is. My love for you, Angie, will never go away. I hope to see you in the afterlife. And one day or another, you will end and we'll all die. Alright, so here's the plan. I'm gonna go take an Uber in the afternoon before 2:40. From there, I'll go into the
All right, so he's just going over his plan.
campus, walk up the stairs, unload my bag with
But
an AR-15.
this is the
and
guy.
trace rounds. I think I can do a good done. Location is Stone Douglas. in Parkland, Florida. It's going to be a big event. And when you see me on the news, you all know who I am.
All right, so another young kid he felt his life is meaningless. He's probably on the suicidal side. He did lose somebody that he I guess cared for. Angie, it seems sound like, and he just government. He was against the government brainwashing people and all that stuff. And he has a meaningless life. So I think I said that again. So a couple cues here to kind of think about. I think it's gonna be a hard one too to figure out the demeanor, because he looked normal. He wasn't talking to himself. He wasn't, you know, pacing around, whatever. I mean, I don't know if he was a loner. You know, he's able to talk on video, but was he sitting by himself? Was he just doesn't want to talk to people, kind of thing? And maybe just, you know, troubled. Okay. So, I mean, there's a couple of people, maybe they're just shy, who knows, but those are kind of cues to just kind of like, hey, kind of notice this kid, he's kind of shy, just talk to him real quick, see what's up, you know, probably son or daughter of the family who's been attending church for many years, and one day he's just like, hey, you know what, those are the hard ones where you got to do the hero shots, because they've kind of bypassed all the, you know, the filters and the layers and whatever, right? And we don't know when they're gonna, you know, one day say, hey, I'm doing it, this is the plan, kind of thing. Okay, so all right, moving on. I think I have a couple of other ones where I think this will be for the next video on, you know, items that you would see, and if you notice something and what you can do as a layer of defense. You don't have to be in part of the security team. If you see it, dude, tackle the guy, right? All right, anyways, hopefully this video has kind of helped a little bit. I can only maybe over time compile more and more videos that I come across on that I maybe see, and I'll add it to the members area by just, you know, recording me commenting on it, and then kind of build up a library over time. But these are things that, you know, that we need to learn over time as they, you know, evolve, and that we discover and learn. Okay, thanks for watching.